Crunchy.
Hello, Crunch community. My name is Levi Out Loud. Call me Levi. Call me Loud. Just don't call me out. I'm with John, and we'll be reacting to Wolfman. And I'll be honest, John. When you recommended this, I wasn't sure about it. I know as a horror fan, I was supposed to like classic horror movie villain monsters like
Mm-hmm.
Dracula, Wolfman, the Lagoon monster, but I don't know. These are too old timey for me to get behind,
Yeah.
and I don't I haven't seen anything from this, but I don't think this is gonna be a hit. I
I don't
don't know
know
about
either. I don't know either.
it.
I'm completely honest with you. I don't know either. Blumhouse has been on a shitstorm lately, kicking it off with like Night Swim and Imaginary, and most recently with AI. I don't think it was very good, at least from what I've seen in that one. I haven't seen that one yet, but from the reviews, it's not very good. So Blumhouse has
Yeah.
been shitting. They've been shitting. So but they're making profit. So that's kind of like what makes me not too excited about it, because they are still making profit from these movies that are not very good. Um, but what gives me hope about this movie is that one of the directors or writer, I can't remember, writer or director, is coming from Invisible Man. I loved Invisible Man. I loved that most recent portrayal of Invisible Man. I like the
Was
themes
that
that they did with that.
was that the one where he's like actually invisible with the invisible suit and like he's just
Yes.
stalking his chick?
Yeah,
Okay,
his
yeah,
his yeah, his ex. Yeah, I loved that movie.
that
Great
was really
themes,
good. So
explored
good.
very well, and I loved the horror and the camera angles that was done with that. And he also helped do the first Insidious movie. So he's got a good track record so far, and I think he's got two other movies as well that did fairly well. So I'm excited in that sense. Um, but there was this one Twitter thing that they pulled up. I don't know if you have it ready, but this is how they first kind of announced it, and it made me very uneasy of how they're gonna do this. Because essentially it just looked really cheap, and I wasn't sure if this was supposed to be the design of the character.
I'll probably put it up, maybe like a GIF or something like that,
Yeah.
up on here.
It's just some dude like just moving back and forth. He's just, in this really weird suit. And when I first saw this guy, I was like, okay, this is not Scream Wolfman to me. So I
Yeah,
was kind of like thinking in my head, like, okay, well, what route are they gonna go? Is this gonna be classic Wolfman style? It's not. It's obviously not with this character. And so I saw the trailer, and we can go ahead and play from there. It gave me a little more hope. So we can go from here. We can see the
okay,
trailer.
let's go ahead.
Dude, mantises give me the creep though.
Yeah, I see people playing with them, and like I don't know, I feel like they have like a
Mm-mm.
very sharp sting
What's that?
that I
Yeah,
would not try that shit.
It
mantises
sounded
give me
like
the
an animal
creeps, dude.
crying.
I don't know what it is about them.
But I swear to God, it was standing on 2 feet.
Daddy, are we gonna die?
No, it's my job to protect you.
What's wrong with Daddy?
He got sick.
Please, Dad, you're scaring me! Blade, stop!
Really
Daddy
quick,
fed you.
really quick
Okay,
trailer.
I'll let you know. Okay, so January they're dumping this in January, which is already a bad
Exactly.
sign.
It is a
Um,
bad sign because it was actually scheduled for this year. It was
okay,
scheduled for this year to come out in October, but there is a huge competition of movies coming out around this time period. I mean, with Beetlejuice, you got Beetlejuice 2, and you've also got Venom, and another, I think, Art Terrifier 3 is also supposed to be coming out in October. So there's a lot of competition in October. So I don't feel like they were confident enough in it. So they pushed it back to January, which makes me very uneasy because January movies, as we know, is the dump for bad movies, and
yeah,
especially for Blumhouse. But we got almost two of them in January from Blumhouse alone. So it makes me very uneasy. But we also did get Megan in January, which was a hit. So
yeah, that was really good.
with with that being said, I think Wolfman has a chance. I'm always hopeful for a good horror movie to come out. And so after seeing the trailer, I kind of like the direction they're going. You know, it's not like classic Wolfman, but I kind of like that it kind of looks like a rabies thing, and how
Oh,
the rabies is like transforming the guy. And so now I kind of understand the character model that they use in that Twitter tease, because it is kind of more human like. But I don't like that they already showed like how it's supposed to look, if that makes sense. It kind of takes out the intrigue from it.
I feel like this movie's gonna do a lot of alluding to the monster. Like it's not gonna show it until like maybe the last 5 or 10 minutes. I hope they don't do that mistake. It's a trope that never does well, in my
But
opinion.
I don't think that's too bad of an idea. Because the problem that we have with some horror movies is like when you have like a creature feature, or you have something that's supposed to be ominous in the movie, it sometimes doesn't work well, especially when you get a good idea of what it looks like. Because if we look back, I think it's the first Alien movie, creature feature, we don't see the actual xenomorph for like a good 50 minutes. Like we don't see anything like that until we're like 50 minutes into the movie. So it's kind of a slow burn, but it does well with creating environment, creating suspense, and you know, it's building that. And I wouldn't mind that in Wolfman if they're building that, if they're alluding to that monster, but they're giving us big pieces of lore.
But see,
I'm not too opposed to that. I think that would be done a little better if it's just some 45-minute run of just this Wolfman chasing his family around.
see, I understand that, but with Alien, you didn't know what a xenomorph was. You didn't know what one would look like. In this one,
True.
the title says Wolfman. Like I already know I'm going in seeing a Wolfman.
Well, I mean,
But,
then you can say alien. You didn't know you're gonna see an alien the entire movie. You could say the same
but
thing
not
there.
a
Okay,
xenomorph doesn't.
but that's what I'm saying. It's a different take on the Wolfman. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not an actual someone turning into a dog like creature at full moon. It seems more like a disease. And
Yeah.
I think if we see the descent of that, and we see a little bit of lore maybe come into that, which I kind of don't feel is gonna happen, like some kind of mystic um thing that's gonna happen. I feel like it's gonna be more like of a disease, and kind of like a health thing that we see throughout the movie, and a transformation that way. But I'm not too opposed if we spend most of the movie kind of in that. And like if we get a good movie out of it, I'm fine with that. I would rather them explore like one or two themes throughout the entire movie, and also the horror of this body dysmorphia that's kind of going on, rather than it kind of go off in its own different things, and it goes from horror, suspense, and we're kind of building this thing, and then it turns into an entirely different movie for like the last act. I would much rather prefer the slow burn kind of thing, and then we get like a 20-minute sequence of the actual Wolfman. So I don't know. There's a lot of things they could do right. There's a lot of things they can do wrong. But the point is the real reason for my worries is because it's Blumhouse, and Blumhouse has not been doing very well in terms of movie quality. When I remember they used to be like the pioneers to doing good horror
Yeah,
movies for a while there,
yeah.
doing the classic um low budget practical things, and they turn around and make a big profit, and they were making good horror movies for a good while, and now they've kind of just turned into like a little bit of a cash grab, exploring great ideas, but just falling flat on a lot of them. So that's my biggest worry. But what gives me hope is the director, and the concept of Wolfman. So we'll see.
Yeah. And you like when you said earlier that these are still making profit and stuff like that. That's why they're still doing it. I think honestly, I think horror movies are probably have the lowest budget of any other kind of movie
Hmm.
because that's why almost like whenever an IP has ran out, why we get like a horror movie like Winnie the Pooh and stuff like that. So it's
Hmm.
it's very easy. Like even if a horror movie's bad, it's still easy for them to make back their money.
Hmm.
But I'm a little bit happy. Like someone in the comments just reminded me that we are getting also Nosferatu. So I am happy for those that like the creature features and like these old style horror movie monsters. And like as you said, a lot of people are pretty excited about the director
Hmm.
of Upgrade Invisible Man. So that's something to be optimistic about. I'll put up that Wolfman look into it because yeah, I was trying to look on a different tab for it, and some people found like let me see, I found like one. Apparently this is like also uh part of the costume. I don't know. This looks fake, but I see a YouTuber talking about it. He has a screenshot of the so like
Yeah, very similar to what I saw.
oh yeah.
It looks fake, yes, I know, but it is very similar from the actual. If it's not the same guy, it's very similar to the one that Blumhouse was kind of promoting there for a second. So it made me very uneasy because that was the very first thing I saw regarding horror stuff. So I was like, oh my gosh, this does not look great. I do not get Wolfman vibes from that.
This is almost said this is not the Wolfman. This is a fentanyl addict from Philadelphia.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. It looked like he got ran through Florida, bro, in some crazy. So we'll see. Like
I
that
don't know.
dude looks like he's been through a bender in Florida, bro. Like it looks crazy. But I mean, but thinking about it now and after seeing the trailer, I was like, okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with more of a grounded, realistic type of disease person that is transforming into that. I can kind of see that. So we'll see. I want to see the idea explored, and I'm open to it. I'm open to it.
All right, it's very topsy turvy. First, you got the director, then you got this bad costume. So it's like
Hmm. We'll
it's a
see.
gamble. It's a gamble.
And it's
It's a gamble.
January, and it's a January horror movie, so we'll see, dude. We will absolutely see if this ends up being good or not.
Mhm. All right, let us know what you think about Wolfman, the trailer. Are you skeptical? Or are you skeptical of its success? Do you think it's gonna flop, or do you think it's gonna be a success? Let us know down below. All in all, stay crunchy.